Hey folks, so after driving around British Columbia and Alberta for a while, we left Calgary and flew to Anchorage in Alaska. We were going to stay in Anchorage for one night and then head down to Whittier to jump on a cruise ship and head through the Inside Passage, stopping at Skagway and Juneau and Ketchikan on the way down to Vancouver. And this video will just cover the journey from Whittier through to Glacier Bay. So this was our first sort of time in America as such, and it was quite an interesting landscape flying into Anchorage. And this is us coming into Anchorage Airport. It was about mid-May, so it wasn't too cold. That's our hotel. There's a big bear trapped in a glass cage. I think he's still trying to get out. Hotel was pretty average. Then we took a walk around the hotel area and then had a eat to bite. The next day we got into Anchorage, had a look around the town. Bears seemed to be the theme of the day there. Then we called into this mall for a bit of lunch before embarking on a bus which would take us to where our cruise ship was docked down at Whittier. The landscape sort of opened up on the way down there, sort of gave us a taste of what was to come. We got there at Whittier around about 5 o'clock, I think, 5 in the afternoon. Just before getting into Whittier itself, we had to go through the Anton Anderson Memorial Tunnel. It's a one-way tunnel, so we actually had to wait for about 40 minutes, I think it was, for traffic coming out of Whittier to go by. So this is us going into the tunnel. I can't remember how long it took to get to the end. It wasn't too long. And this is the view that greeted us when we got to Whittier. There's our ship. So we boarded. This is our first time on a cruise. So we were quite excited to see what it was all about. There's our cabin just on the outside there. We were quite blown away by the sheer size of the ship. Even though it's not the biggest in the world by any means, but it was definitely big enough. So anyway, we got on the ship and our bags were waiting for us right outside our room. So being our first cruise, we thought we'd be cheeky and splash out and get a room with a balcony. And that came in handy for watching the world go by. Had a toilet, shower and all that sort of stuff. Had a quick look around, then it was time to get our safety briefing.
We have info to share, so listen up, and then you can schmooze.
So we decided to go explore a couple of areas of the ship. It just seemed so big and massive that we thought we'd never get to explore all the different areas, but we eventually did. This is just a couple of shots and videos of that time. We wanted to get back to our room and get some sunset shots. So yeah, we woke up to a nice morning and we were taken to Hubbard Glacier, and it's a pretty spectacular place. The weather looked like it was going to clear right up, so we were quite excited to get into Glacier Bay and see what that had to offer. There's a couple of guys doing some maintenance. We seem to strike that at various times on the ship, but was never really an inconvenience to anybody. We thought we'd walk around the ship again and check out some new places. All the while, we just had some amazing scenery go past. And there's another ship that we were kind of following during our week on the boat. Yeah, the scenery was just phenomenal. There were icebergs in the water. Sometimes you'd see some dolphins or whales or a whole lot of different birds. So there was always sort of something to see. As we got into Glacier Bay, the weather really started opening up. Blue sky just popped out, and we thought we'd get a drink, as you do. So just before we entered Glacier Bay National Park, a couple of the park rangers hopped on board, and so these park rangers would give running commentary on pretty interesting information about the Glacier Bay National Park, the history of it.
A very interesting bald eagle on an iceberg just coming parallel to the bow on the port side of our ship, the left side. And it's really interesting because I believe it's feeding on something. I'm not sure if it's a gull or a fish, but this bald eagle appears to have something in its talon. There are bears in this area, eagles on icebergs, Arctic terns circling around, And of course, a variety of gulls, from the glaucous-maned gulls to the black-legged kittiwakes, and have a nesting colony just to the side of the glacier.
And that was the end of our visit to Glacier Bay. What a spectacular looking place. The scenery in Glacier Bay was just incredible, and we were lucky enough to get a nice sunny day. And just the sheer size of the glaciers and the mountains and the bays that you were in, it was just amazing. You didn't really get a sense of scale until you saw another boat go past or something like that. So anyway, better start winding this video down and work on the next video, which will probably be about our first port of call, which was Skagway. And we got to do an excursion off the boat, so I'll put that in the next video whenever that may be. So yeah, definitely a highlight of our whole week on the ship was this Glacier Bay cruise. It was just stunning scenery, well worth the trip, and not a bad start for our first cruise, I think. Anyway, better stop yapping, and we'll catch you on the next video.